guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lillian, and yes, we are in a different environment today. No, we're not in my bedroom, and no, we're not in my backyard. Today's video is dedicated specifically for meditation. So I have done a previous video on meditating with crystals. If you haven't watched that, I will put that somewhere for you guys to access so that you could watch this video and then watch that one afterwards. If you do want to incorporate crystals into your meditation practice, by no means do you have to. I did find that once I got to a certain level with my meditation, that it did help to kind of incorporate crystals just to make the meditation more powerful. But with that in mind, let's dive into some of, my top meditation tips for you guys. I have 8 tips total for you. Some of them are very crucial, some of them aren't, but definitely when it comes to any type of spiritual practice, you need to make sure that you're doing what works best for you. So this is just a guideline. This is just what has worked best for me, but by no means do you have to follow it to a T, and that's with everything. Take what resonates and leave the rest. So the first thing that I would recommend, and I wish I would have heard this somewhere else before I started meditating, because it was awfully frustrating and almost misguiding to not know what exactly I wanted from my meditation going into it. So did I want a clear mind? Did I want clarity on a certain issue? Did I just want healing? What exactly is it that you want going into this meditation? You need to kind of have that in mind before you even start. You'll see why. It kind of coincides with all the other points, but definitely going in with, I guess, the intention of what you want to do. Once you've identified what you want from your meditation, that's where it's important to set your intention. For example, let's just say that my intention is to clear away brain fog. Then you would say either to yourself or out loud, I set the intention for this meditation to bring me clarity with my thinking process and to remove any clutter from my mental space that might be creating brain fog. So that's just an example of what you can say. By no means you have to say exactly that, but something along those lines where you're being specific about what you want to do, that's key. If you believe in spirit guides and angels, you can always call your team in to help you manifest that intention so that the meditation feels even more strong. For me personally, I love doing that because I tend to feel a stronger presence. It's funny as I say that, I just noticed a white feather over there. Side note, signs from your angels and spirit guides might include feathers. Yeah, once you've done that, you can move on to step 2. Step 2 is kind of figuring out, okay, do I want to have a guide during my meditation, or would I rather just see where it takes me? If you are a beginner with meditation, I would suggest doing guided meditations just to get started, because typically you can find like 5-minute ones. I do recommend starting with shorter times than longer, because it is going to be kind of difficult to stay in a meditation for a long period of time if you've never done it before. I mean, it is possible. If you feel like you want to do that, go ahead. If you're kind of trying to incorporate meditation into your daily practice, I would suggest starting with 5-10 minutes daily, whatever you feel is most digestible for you. That's the great thing about guided meditations. There's lots on YouTube. You can just type in meditation for blah 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 and it will pop up. If you don't want to hear somebody else guiding you, then you can always listen to frequency music. There are multiple different frequencies that you can choose to listen to while you meditate. There really is no right or wrong with that. Typically there is key frequencies assigned for certain things. So for example, 962 hertz, that's for like pineal gland and third eye activation. There's different ones that you can do, and I would just type in like frequency music for anxiety or frequency music for psychic development or whatever it is. You'll find the appropriate frequency that you need for that. To tip number 3. So the most important thing when it comes to meditation is finding a spot that you feel comfortable or tranquil. This is a perfect example of the perfect spot to meditate, but by no means do you have to meditate somewhere where you're in nature or whatnot. Of course, it's always better to connect with nature. I do think it makes it more powerful, but it's honestly just as powerful in your house, in your backyard, in a quiet spot. It doesn't really matter. It's the intention and the energy that you bring to the meditation that's really going to determine how powerful it is. Just find somewhere comfortable. You don't have to sit up necessarily. You can lie down as well. I know in some meditations, guided meditation specifically, the guide kind of tells you to like take a certain position, and that might be because of the specific meditation, because typically you want your energy centers to be aligned so that the energy can pass through them very quickly and efficiently. So sitting up with your back straight, legs crossed, arms on your knees, or just lying flat on your back, just make sure it's flat. That works too. Whatever's more comfortable for you works. I definitely would recommend using headphones and closing your eyes during meditation. Headphones just make it more intense, and also closing your eyes kind of makes you go within a little better. Tip number 4, I know I already kind of mentioned this and I think tip 2, but definitely you want to start with shorter meditations just so that you can kind of get used to how the process works. The more that you do it, the more confidence you'll gain. So don't worry if it doesn't work out right away, but definitely start off with shorter because that tends to be easier for beginners. Tip number 5, definitely be patient with yourself. I remember when I first started meditating, it was quite a frustrating experience not being able to just sit through the whole meditation without any distraction. It's bound to happen. Even the most advanced meditators, they will still have intrusive thoughts coming in and kind of, you know, disrupting their meditation. That's okay, as long as you just let it pass by, acknowledge it, let it pass by, and just get back to being mindful with your meditation. That's all you really need to do. You know, meditation's like kind of like a sport. Like the more you do it, the better you get at it. It's like with most things in life, so don't get down on yourself. And this is why I recommend starting with shorter times, just so that it's not so long and then you just get frustrated and give up. But definitely if you feel like during a certain meditation you weren't like connected deeply enough, or you feel like you kind of were like thinking a lot about things that didn't have anything to do with your meditation, then that's okay. Some days are better than others, and I would just try again the next day. But don't let that discourage you, because it's still better than no meditation. Tip number 6, don't expect anything from your meditation. Don't go into it with, oh, I want to have a certain vision, or oh, I want a certain question to be answered. Like, that will come in divine timing. You need to be patient and just allow the experience to kind of flow. You don't want to go in with certain expectations, because you kind of create resistance, which doesn't really work with the universe's energy. You want to let it just be natural. If something's meant to come to you, it will. You'll never miss something that's meant for you. So just keep that in mind. Just don't be disappointed if you don't have any major aha moments or anything during your meditation. Again, like I said, it will come when it's meant to. Just keep trying, and I promise you that you'll have some crazy revelations. So I just wanted to say, some of the most intense meditations that I've ever had with the craziest messages came from me going into it not expecting to receive them at all. I just kind of went into it thinking, oh, I'm just ooh, bug bit me. I went into it just kind of thinking, you know, oh, I'm just doing my daily mindful practice, because it does really help me a lot, but it kind of does turn into more the more you do it. And so just keep that in mind. The less you expect, the more you're bound to receive. Okay, tip number 7, be grateful and proud of yourself for doing this. Not everybody has the discipline or self-care to go ahead and meditate every morning. It's like the biggest gift that you can give yourself first thing in the day, or whenever you're doing it. You know, you're telling yourself, I'm important and this time is for me. Be grateful and you know, for yourself, that you showed up for yourself. Even if the meditation wasn't as deep as you wanted it to be, it still counts for something. Tip number 8, if you would like to, I would recommend journaling your meditation experience, because even if nothing really happens, the next time something really happens, you can kind of like compare and contrast how much of a difference the experience was. And even those meditations where you do receive messages or intuitive hits or visions, then I would definitely recommend journaling about them later, just so that you can look back on it and see if that wisdom was of help, and most of the time it is. I really hope this video found you guys well. I hope that you gained something from it. I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribed, hit the thumbs up button, and put your bell on so that you can be notified whenever I post a new video. I really appreciate all the support. I will see you guys next time. Bye.